This is a book talk on chapter 3 of The Artist's Way, where I will share the main ideas along with my thoughts and personal insights related to creative recovery in the Artist's Way journey. This is my fifth time reading the book. It has been really loved, and every time I read it, there's new insights. It's a true classic. Shout out to Julia Cameron for creating this beautiful masterpiece. And week 3 is all about recovering a sense of power, okay? So, first thing mentioned is anger. Anger is fuel that is meant to really be listened to and provide the power towards some action. I said that a little bit weird. But, anyways, it's meant to be listened to. It's showing you where your boundaries are and it's mapping out what needs to happen to move away from anger. I think something that happens with anger is it gets repressed or stuffed inside, and then we're stuck in it without really acknowledging it. And so to listen to your anger is to give it a voice and to take your power back from the anger. So what are you angry about? What gets you going? Listen to that, because that's pointing the direction for what work you can do, one, to be free of it, or maybe your actual work. Like for me, I get angry about the education system, and just like feminist activism topics. And so for me, it's like that's pointing a direction. It's like, okay, let's focus on early literacy if you care so much about reading. But, anyways, what are you angry about? Listen to it. With a little thought, we can usually translate the message anger is sending. So, yeah, anger, tells us our old life is dying and we're being reborn. Birthing hurts. It's part of the process. Um, yeah, she says, anger's our friend. Not a nice friend, not a gentle friend, but a very loyal friend, and will always tell us when we have been betrayed. And so what do you need to do to protect yourself and move out of the anger? So, anyways, anger is not the action, it's the action's invitation. What do you do after you get angry? Um, Go to the page, create, you know? Okay. Next up is synchronicity. Okay. This is the idea that there is a higher power who is leading us along, giving us signs, and we're in relationship with it. It's not the normal way that we communicate with people, but when we're, asking for signs or symbols or things, the universe will respond to meet us there. Yeah. So yeah, she says, if there is a responsive creative force that does hear us and act on our behalf, then we may really be able to do some things, right? So life really is what we make it. It's this concept of ask and you shall receive. That's an invitation of the morning pages. It's like, okay, start, asking for what you want, and then see the universe like work in your favor and bring it to you. All you have to do is open your eyes. And also be aware of your thinking patterns too, which I think is really the message of week 1, which is all about transforming negative beliefs into positive affirmations. It's doing that work because our thoughts do have power. What we say, what we think, magnetizes frequency towards us. So synchronicity is affirming the signals we're putting out. Are you putting out negative things, or are you putting out positive things? So I think it's an invitation to just heighten your sense of self-awareness as well. And be easy on yourself. Like, it's life. Let's not take it so seriously that we can't like play around a little bit, right? It's like, see what happens when you put your dreams out there and like be honest about your desires and what you're wanting with your life, and see what happens. She says, in my experience, the universe falls in love with worthy plans, and most especially with festive, expansive ones. So yeah, understanding the what comes before the how. So choose what you would do, and then see how the how falls into place. The next invitation is taking a small step in the direction of a dream and then watch the synchronous doors fly open. Something that happens here is like you're constantly being confronted with resistance and fear as you go down this path because it's uncomfortable, it's new, it's change, and that's not always easy. And so the invitation is just to take those little steps of faith and see where they lead, right? You don't have to totally transform today. It happens over time as you show up to the process and open to that relationship with a higher power and all of that. So, yeah, whatever you think you can do or believe you can do, begin it. Action has magic, grace, and power in it, right? Make it happen. Just do it. You don't need to know what the end goal is. Just move in the direction of your dreams, move towards what lights you up and makes you feel the most alive. And yeah, the next topic is shame, which often goes hand in hand with making art. It's vulnerable, and at some point in our expression, we've probably been shamed by ourselves, by our family, by people, by whatever. Don't take it personal, right? The act of making art exposes a society to itself, right? It brings things to life. It illuminates, sheds light on things unseen, whether that's our own psyche or anything else. And when people don't want to see something, they get mad at the person who showed it to them and get like that offensiveness. So like, don't take shame personal. Free yourself from it. Yeah, she says, art opens the closets, airs out the cellars and attics. It brings healing. But before a wound can heal, it must be seen. And this act of exposing the wound to air and light is often reacted to with shame. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, it leads into the idea of the self-protective mechanisms we create for ourselves. So how do you protect your inner artist, right? Learning to be self-protective and yet not isolating or limiting, and like still showing up and being, showing up to the art and being vulnerable despite that. Is, yeah, one, it requires a safe hatchery, safety in your environment and who you're telling, even with yourself. Careful of judgment and criticism. Like it's really vulnerable to share art, whatever level that is. And so it's best to just keep it to yourself until you like find that trust and safety from your community or from within. That's part of the reason why I like holding space for creative journeys with people. It's like we all have our, stuff around being seen in our creativity. And so to have a space where we can share and be open about it, I think is really beautiful and healing. Yeah, the antidote to shame is self-love and self-praise. So hype yourself up. She mentions ways of dealing with criticism. It's one of those things, like, you should be receptive to the criticism and try not to get like too defensive because it's counterproductive. And she gives a few rules for dealing with criticism. Here are a few. Receive it and get it over with. Jot down notes to yourself on what bothered you. Jot down notes that seemed useful. And then do something nurturing for yourself. Read a good review or like hype yourself up. Yeah, and remember, like, even if you made something that's not good, it might just be a stepping stone to the next thing. Don't let that stop you or block you. Like, we're here to clear the blocks. Yeah. Another one, write a letter to the critic, not to be mailed, but defend your work and acknowledge what was helpful. Get back on the horse, make an immediate commitment to do something creative. And do it. Creativity is the only cure for criticism. So Get back on. Keep on creating. Yeah. The final topic here talked about is growth, and just this idea that growth isn't always like, oh, I'm growing, I'm shining. It's often 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Growth also requires like letting go and shedding, and there's, specific things needed to support growth. So if you are feeling like the waves of this process, don't get discouraged. Think of it as resting. And when you are well rested, you have more energy to continue on. So be gentle for yourself. Growth takes time, it's cyclical. It might not happen all at once, but trust that you're growing. Look at where you started and look at where you are now. Yeah. Few different activities this week. You can check out the tasks in the book itself. They're all listed out. You can also join my community on Patreon for more resources in the collections. A lot of the tasks this week have to do with inner child work, because a lot of recovering our creativity is going into our inner little child self and remembering who we were, who we are. So one of the things, describe your childhood room. Make a sketch if you'd like. What was your favorite thing? Another one, describe 5 traits you like in yourself as a child. List 5 childhood accomplishments. Another one, take a look at your habits. Many of them may interfere with your self-nurturing and cause shame. So just getting clear about how you spend your time. Let's see. Yeah. That's all I'll share for now, but otherwise, morning pages are number one thing about the artist way. So just do your best to show up, it's life. Be graceful with yourself. The ebbs and flows are part of the process, but it really pays off when you show up fully to it. And I will take a moment to read the basic principles again, because they're very important. And she actually advises reading these every day along this journey. Yeah, they're quite beautiful. I'll read them to you. Number 1, creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. There is an underlying, indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. When we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives. We are ourselves creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. Creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. 6. The refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. When we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God, good orderly direction. As we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. Our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards our divinity. So those are the basic principles. They're really like the foundational bedrock for the artist way and deepening your connection with Great Spirit, God, Source, Creation, whatever you want to call it, because this process really is about like opening to become a channel for creative energy to flow through you. So thank you for listening. If you made it this far, let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, stay tuned for week 4 of the Artist Way book talk coming to you next week.